How's it going, guys? Welcome back to Garry's Mod, and I figured, you know what, it's getting colder out there. Why don't we go ahead and take a look at 3 maps that give you the cozy vibes that we're all looking for right now. And first up, of course, do I even have to say it? We have Traverse Town. This is a map that is very familiar to anyone who has played the game Kingdom Hearts. And for me, it holds a very special place in my childhood because, well, this is one of my favorite games of all time. From the first moments of starting out in the alleyways, to hanging out with Geppetto and Pinocchio. Well, Pinocchio you'll find later on, but the bottom line is, a really cool map. And it has been amazingly ported from the creator. It honestly looks way better than even I remember it being. And one of the cool things about this map is you can indeed go to all the different districts. Here we have District 3. Of course, you unlock that later on. Hint, hint, by working with whatever this is. And of course, when the boy with the giant key arrives, there are massive keyholes everywhere, which is pretty convenient. Now, sadly, you cannot go to Merlin's house on this map, but I do love that they did include the glowing effects. In fact, you're going to find this pretty much throughout the entire map. There's tons of cool effects that have been retained, and I love it. This is such a fun map to hang out in, and of course, the music. Super nostalgic, and it just takes me back to playing this game for the first time. So many moments happened here, I remember, but I didn't even know that this upper balcony even existed. I guess I just never really looked up in this part of the map. But of course, we have to go over the largest district, District 2, which, yes, you can of course go into, and it's pretty massive. There's a lot of cool things to explore. Sadly, you cannot enter the hotel like you can in the main game. You also cannot enter the house with the Dalmatians, which is also unfortunate. You also can't go inside the mechanical room. I don't even know what you'd call it, but there was a lot of gears in there. And again, really memorable, super cool stuff. This honestly all looks really good. You also can't go into the alleyway. That's the only main district area that you can't access. But this map holds a special place in my heart, and it's super cozy, and if you want to just hang out and vibe, this is one of the best maps I think you can do it on. Next up, we have another really cool and cozy map. It is Attic Memories. Now, something that's really cool about this map is there is so much detail packed in. If Traverse Town was a very big open map, this is a very small but concentrated map. There are seriously so many cool references, and if you grew up in the 2000s like I did, you're gonna find some really awesome stuff littered across the walls. For instance, we have a Day to Remember Homesick, aka their best album and one of my favorite bands, so really cool to see this. We also have a 2003 calendar, which, wow, that really takes me back. We also have some really awesome photographs that are, by the way, taken on this map, but they look like memories that have definitely seen some better days. There's even some really cool scribbles on the wall, like right here we can see Sarah plus Marshall 2009, which, I mean, that's just beautiful, is it not? However, some other things are not so beautiful, like this. My name is Keith Marshall, and I'm going to die here. We're probably not supposed to see that last part, but I thought that was kind of macabre. Here we can see we have the book 1984. We also have some sketches in this notebook, which I love this stuff. It really does just kind of ooze early 2000s nostalgia. And of course, we even have stuff like the PlayStation 2. Everywhere you look, you're going to find some cool hint or nod to real life early 2000s, and I really can't get over how awesome that is. The cozy vibe of this map, the photographs on the wall, and even a sneak peek of your homies hanging out having a bonfire outside. This is just an awesome map to chill out in, and definitely fits the bill for vibes if you ask me, so that's why we included it in this video. But unfortunately we cannot open this door, but for some reason we can destroy it. Well, I guess now I have to find out what's behind this door. Well, that's problematic. And last up, we have the Japanese train. It's a very simple map. It's just you on a train going pretty fast. And there's some pretty funny and interesting advertisements as well, including, well, I think this is the Hammer editor or some sort of editor where the map was being created. I love this kind of stuff, by the way. It's super cool and a really awesome Easter egg. And then you have things like this where I don't even Like, what am I looking at? You know, I'm starting to think that maybe nostalgia is a more apt description of all three of these maps, because there's some pretty early 2000s things here, and again, very nostalgic. Now, unfortunately, you cannot exit the train, and you can't leave. Also, a train is probably not a very cozy place in real life, but here when we're alone, hearing the train run along the tracks, seeing everything outside the window, it's pretty peaceful. And if I was on here alone, well, I'd probably be scared, because why the hell is there no one else on a public train? This is also probably the only map that is not nostalgic to me, because, well, fun fact, I've never been on a train in my life, and I don't know what it would even be like. But hey, if the movement makes you sick, no worries. We have one where the train is still, and you also get a really good view of what's outside the train, which, well, I mean, there's not really much to look at. But again, some of these advertisements are pretty funny. We got some Sega, we got some Coca-Cola, we got some pretty questionable looking anime. I'm not even gonna look at that, because I think there might be some nudity in that one. Be very cautious on what you may look at, like the Otaku Convention Zone, or Hatsune Miku. So there you have it, my friends, 3 maps that bring about a nice cozy vibe. You can also hear the waves whooshing in the background on this map. It's a much different vibe than the moving train, and you get 2 in 1. But I would love to know what your favorite map is of these 3, and what is your favorite cozy map of all time? As always, if you guys do want to leave a like or subscribe, that would really help me out. And I want to thank you all so much for watching this until the end. If you buy G Fuel, use code NECROS94 and you'll save 20% off on your next order. Thank you all for watching this until the end, and until next time, farewell.